Okay, if we can move then, please, on to the Primary Care Code Commission. I think that's Julian, please.
Yes, sorry, it's me again. As ever, these are always slightly strange because I told you about the meeting that's reported here at the last meeting, because I always happen in the mornings of these. I won't say too much about the papers that we hear, but I talked about it last time, and I hope you've read that. I will talk more about the meeting that we had this morning. One thing to pick up on, we talked last time about the Estates and Technology Transformation Fund update. We put in a large number of bids. We were expecting to hear back then in August. We're now still waiting to hear back. What we have heard, despite the fact that we haven't yet heard which bids are successful, is the intention they should all be deliverable by the end of March. Some of us are sceptical as to whether that's really Estates and Technology Transformation, when we won't know yet what's happening, and you'll all be delighted to know that we don't yet know what the system will be for next year. Otherwise, we talked about the General Practice Forward View, and there is some new money that's coming in. We talked about the General Practice Forward View before. There's a General Practice Resilience Programme of 40 million over 4 years. That's not all for us, that's across the country. 30 million for GP National Development Programme, 45 million over 5 years to train reception and clerical staff. And so all of that might be useful. However, it's worth bearing in mind that statistically we'd expect to get about 1% of that. So it's some money, but it's not a significant change on the scale of what we need. If colleagues are interested, there is a lot of information about that particularly GP colleagues may want to see. I won't talk through all the slides, but you might want to have a look. It's available from the website, so I'm sure Sharon can circulate those papers. We talked about sustainable primary care and particularly neighbourhood facing, so a new test-bed approach to find GP practices that would like to try some new improved ways of working. If you are interested in a new improved way of working, or anyone else who is, please do want a good representative balance that picks up the different types of practice that we have around the area, but also does improves health inequality rather than worsens them. We then had a report from NHS England on how they're doing, and I think it would be fair to say that they are stretched in terms of delivery. So their report talks about, for example, they're currently 6.5 full-time equivalents under complement in terms of the people trying to do this work. So that is quite significant, and a lot of things which they were working on are going quite slowly, and partly as a result of that. So we talked about a whole lot of different schemes, and again, I'm not going to read them all out, but there's a long list of practices that we're looking at, particularly in the Peterborough area. Prime Minister's Challenge Fund is being funded up to April of next year. So the GP Access Scheme as it now is, we don't yet know what's going to happen for next year. We also looked at some of the finances, and the official figures show that of the almost 40 million we should have spent until the end of month 4, we're 84,000 over. I'm a bit sceptical about how meaningful some of those numbers are. There are very large variances which we need to explore. There's a particular issue, just in closing. We are still on track to take over fully commissioning primary care as of next year. That's something we've said we aspire to do. I think we have to be sure about the capacity that we will have to do that, and that we know what the funding situation looks like. Currently, I don't think we have all of that in place. We are continuing to work more closely with NHS England, so for the first time, for example, the committee picked up some decisions about expanding practice boundaries and things like that, which is what we'll have to take up soon. We're still learning how to work with NHS England on this and how to take it over ourselves.
Any questions?
I'm incredibly enthusiastic about GP Forward View, and I look forward to any extra resources and allocations we have. What I'm not clear is that we have a method of allocating any of those resources, or that we have a strategy behind it, and where those resources should go. And that I find extremely worrying, given that we are probably 6 months away from commissioning these services. I think I'm also concerned about the idea of test beds, in that I am concerned that the resources will be centred in those those test beds when actually there is already a wealth of evidence about what works in primary care and how extra resources can help it. So I think if we do get extra resources from GP Forward View, which are promised and should be coming our way, for me, I want very clear plans about what we're doing with it, what our priorities are, and how we should best spend those resources.
I tend to agree that we should have conversations about strategically how to use the extra money. It was not clear at all at the meeting that NHS England know how money will be allocated or will be given to us to pass on, at least in the first rounds. That may change later. So we're still trying to find out how that will work.
But I'm also concerned that we're allocating more on those tests. And again, we don't know what we've got.
Frustration on what we've got, I agree.
Okay, Kath, is that a different one you want to answer?
I just want to know something about the strategy.
Yeah.
We acknowledged at the Sustainable Primary Care Group this week that we don't have a strategy for primary care. That group will actually become the strategy group under the new SDP governance arrangements. So that was one of our top priorities, to actually get a strategy in place, because as you quite rightly say, how do we know what to test, what to do, if we haven't actually got a strategic direction?
Okay, thank you. If I can just add with regards to the test beds, I spoke to Alex and Benton this morning, and I know Mark, you're very involved with that work as well. I think it is important to get something out of member practice, but we've got more than an idea of what we're going to do. And with regards to the GP Forward View, I'm very concerned that NHS England don't appear to know how that money's coming down or where it's going to. I've had a number of conversations now with Mark Sanderson, who's the Deputy Medical Director for Midlands and East, and I think he'll probably have responsibility for at least channeling those funds down to the whole place. So ongoing discussions with him regarding that.
I think that's helpful, and I think at the meeting this morning we made it fairly clear that we were concerned about the lack of knowing how the money would be funded.
And I also think that was just get told to know the test beds. I think the two things actually are quite different things.
Okay, lovely, thank you. So if I can take some recommendations, please, on page 4,